Let me ask you something. Why do some people rise every time life knocks them down, while others stay on the ground? Why do some people turn pressure into power, pain into progress, and failure into fuel? It's not luck, it's not talent. And it's definitely not perfect timing. It's daily habits. The truth is, unstoppable people aren't born unstoppable. They build themselves day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. Greatness isn't created in one big moment. It's created in the small decisions you make every single day. So today, I want to share 7 daily habits that can transform an ordinary life into an unstoppable one. The way you begin your morning quietly determines the direction of your entire day. Most people wake up and immediately allow the world to take control of their attention. The alarm rings, the phone lights up, notifications start pouring in, and before they even take their first real breath, they are already reacting to life instead of leading it. But unstoppable individuals understand something powerful. The first moments of your day are sacred. They are not meant for distraction. They are meant for direction. When you wake up with purpose, you don't simply enter the day. You step into it with intention, ready to shape it according to your goals, rather than allowing circumstances to shape you. Purpose in the morning acts like a compass for the rest of your day. Without it, you drift. You respond to emails, messages, problems, and requests, but you never truly move forward. Hours pass, energy fades, and at the end of the day, you realize you were busy but not productive. Unstoppable people refuse to live like that. When they wake up, they take a moment to reconnect with their mission. They remind themselves why they are working so hard, what they are building, and what kind of person they are becoming. That reminder fuels their actions. Suddenly, the day is no longer random. It is a deliberate step toward a larger vision. Starting with purpose also builds mental strength before the day's challenges appear. Life will test you. Unexpected problems will arise. Plans will change. People will disappoint you. But when you begin your day grounded in purpose, those obstacles lose their power to derail you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you stay focused on what truly matters. Purpose creates clarity, and clarity creates resilience. When you know where you are going, distractions and difficulties become smaller along the way rather than walls that stop you. Another powerful aspect of starting your day with purpose is the sense of ownership it creates. Many people move through life feeling as if they are passengers being pushed and pulled by circumstances beyond their control. But purpose transforms you from a passenger into a driver. The moment you wake up and decide what matters most for that day, what must be done, what progress must be made, you reclaim authority over your life. That simple act of deciding your priorities tells your mind something powerful. You are responsible for the direction of your future. This habit does not require perfection or complicated routines. It simply requires intention. Sometimes it's a quiet moment of reflection before the day begins. Sometimes it's writing down the 3 most important things you must accomplish. Sometimes it's reminding yourself of the bigger dream that makes the daily grind worthwhile. These small acts may seem insignificant in isolation, but over time they build something extraordinary. Day after day, purpose stacks on top of purpose, and slowly your life begins to move forward with unstoppable momentum. The truth is that greatness is rarely built in dramatic bursts of inspiration. It is built in quiet mornings when no one is watching. When you choose focus over distraction, discipline over comfort, and purpose over drifting. Those moments shape your identity. They train your mind to prioritize growth and progress. And when you repeat that choice consistently, something remarkable happens. You stop wandering through life and start directing it with intention and strength. is the bridge between goals and achievement, yet most people underestimate its power. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts and disappears just as quickly. Some days you'll feel motivated to tackle your tasks, and other days exhaustion, fear, or distraction will take over. This is why relying on motivation alone is a trap. It's unpredictable, unreliable, and often unavailable when you need it most. Unstoppable people understand that the key to consistent progress isn't waiting for inspiration. It's developing unwavering discipline. Discipline ensures that you show up and perform no matter how you feel in the moment. Mastering discipline starts with small, deliberate actions repeated every day. It's waking up when the alarm feels impossible to face. It's sitting down to work on a project even when every fiber of your body is screaming for comfort. It's doing the things that are necessary, even when they are hard, boring, or inconvenient. These small acts of resistance may feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, they build a mental and emotional toughness that makes obstacles seem smaller. Discipline transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results, not in weeks, but in months and years of consistent practice. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. It may feel restrictive at first, like a cage that limits your choices, but in reality, it creates space for true autonomy. When you have discipline, you no longer react impulsively to distractions, temptations, or procrastination. Instead, you act according to your highest priorities and long-term goals. You gain control over your habits, your energy, and your focus. Every disciplined choice you make frees you from the chaos of indecision and positions you to achieve outcomes that most people only dream about. Another essential aspect of discipline is self-accountability. Unstoppable individuals do not make excuses when they fail to meet their standards. They do not blame circumstances, people, or luck. Instead, they recognize that consistency requires responsibility. They set clear standards for themselves, track their progress, and take ownership of their actions. This accountability ensures that discipline becomes a lifestyle rather than a temporary effort. When you adopt this mindset, the very challenges that derail others become opportunities to strengthen your commitment to your goals. Discipline also fuels momentum. Every time you follow through on a task despite resistance, you reinforce a cycle of self-trust. The brain begins to associate effort with results. Confidence increases, and taking action becomes easier with each repetition. Eventually, discipline becomes habitual. It becomes second nature. At this point, you no longer have to force yourself to start. Your habits propel you forward automatically. You create a rhythm of success where progress is inevitable simply because you refuse to allow inconsistency to interfere with your growth. Finally, mastering discipline is about choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Life constantly offers distractions: the easy path, the pleasurable detour, or the immediate escape from effort. Unstoppable people understand that delayed gratification is the currency of success. Every choice to persist, to work harder, and to stay focused compounds over time. By consistently prioritizing what matters most, discipline allows you to achieve results far beyond what most people consider possible. It is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. It is not flashy, but it is powerful. And ultimately, it is the single habit that transforms ambition into achievement. Your mind is your most valuable asset, yet it is under constant attack. Every day you are bombarded with negative messages, doubts, criticisms, and distractions. Social media, news, toxic relationships, and self-doubt are constantly trying to shape your thoughts, often without your conscious awareness. Most people allow these influences to dictate their emotions, decisions, and actions, slowly eroding confidence and clarity. Unstoppable individuals understand a critical truth: what you feed your mind determines the quality of your life. Protecting your thoughts isn't optional. It's essential if you want to achieve extraordinary success. Protecting your mind begins with awareness. You must recognize what enters your mental space and evaluate its value. Not every opinion, message, or piece of information deserves your attention. Negative news or fear-inducing narratives may feel urgent, but they rarely contribute to growth or progress. By setting boundaries, both digital and personal, you shield your mind from unnecessary noise. Reading, listening to, and engaging with content that inspires, educates, and challenges you instead of drains you allows your mind to thrive. What you focus on expands, so choose to focus on what empowers you, not what discourages you. Another key aspect of mental protection is choosing the company you keep. People are contagious in the way they think, speak, and act. If you surround yourself with negative, jealous, or stagnant individuals, you will slowly adopt their limitations. Unstoppable individuals intentionally surround themselves with those who uplift, challenge, and inspire them. They seek mentors, friends, and collaborators who push them toward growth, who hold them accountable, and who expand their perspective. Your mind is a garden, and your relationships are the seeds you plant. Choose wisely, because some seeds will choke out your potential. Self-talk is another critical area of mental protection. The way you speak to yourself has an enormous impact on your confidence and resilience. Most people are their harshest critics, constantly undermining their own potential with doubt and fear. Unstoppable individuals learn to manage this internal dialogue. They replace destructive thoughts with constructive, empowering ones. They train their mind to notice opportunities instead of problems, solutions instead of excuses, and growth instead of stagnation. The inner voice becomes an ally rather than a saboteur, providing the mental strength needed to overcome challenges and pursue bold goals. Mind protection also involves deliberate mental growth. A well-nurtured mind is proactive, not reactive. Unstoppable people dedicate time every day to expand their knowledge, sharpen their skills, and deepen their understanding of themselves and the world, whether through reading, journaling, reflection, or learning from mentors. They are constantly upgrading the software of their mind. This habit makes them adaptable, resilient, and capable of navigating any challenge with clarity. Your mind is your compass, and strengthening it ensures you always find your way forward. Finally, protecting your mind means defending your emotional energy. Life will constantly try to drain you with stress, criticism, or conflict. Most people react impulsively, letting these forces control their mood, decisions, and actions. Unstoppable individuals respond differently. They pause, assess, and choose their focus wisely. They understand that energy is finite, and they refuse to spend it on negativity that doesn't serve their growth. By safeguarding mental and emotional space, they create a stable foundation for high performance, confidence, and unstoppable progress. In essence, protecting your mind is not just a habit. It is a shield that allows you to thrive in any environment. Ideas, plans, and dreams are meaningless without action. Many people spend their lives thinking, planning, and talking about what they want to achieve. But they never move. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or the perfect inspiration. Meanwhile, life continues, opportunities slip away, and potential remains untapped. Unstoppable people understand that momentum is built through action, not intention. They don't wait for circumstances to be perfect. They move forward while conditions are imperfect, learning and growing along the way. Relentless action is about committing to consistent movement toward your goals. It doesn't matter if the steps are small, imperfect, or uncertain. What matters is that you keep progressing. Each action creates clarity, sharpens focus, and builds confidence. The paradox is simple. The more you act, the more confident you become, and the more confident you are, the easier it is to take the next step. In this way, unstoppable individuals create a self-reinforcing cycle where action fuels momentum and momentum fuels achievement. Another powerful aspect of relentless action is courage. Taking action often means moving through fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown are natural, but unstoppable individuals don't let fear paralyze them. Instead, they act despite fear, using it as a compass rather than a roadblock. Every time you act while afraid, you stretch your limits and expand your capabilities. Over time, fear loses its grip and bold, decisive action becomes second nature. This is why those who succeed often appear fearless. They have simply trained themselves to move forward regardless of discomfort. Relentless action also differentiates dreamers from achievers. Anyone can dream about wealth, success, influence, or mastery, but very few people actually do the work. Unstoppable individuals understand that execution is the ultimate equalizer. While talent and intelligence are valuable, consistent effort often outweighs natural ability. By showing up every day, pushing forward through obstacles, and maintaining unwavering focus, they consistently outperform those who rely solely on potential or luck. Action turns abstract goals into tangible results. Furthermore, relentless action teaches adaptability. Plans rarely unfold exactly as expected. Problems arise, obstacles block your path, and circumstances shift. By taking action, you gather real-world feedback that allows you to adjust, improve, and pivot. Inaction, on the other hand, leads to stagnation, wasted potential, and regret. Unstoppable individuals see action as experimentation. Every effort provides insight. Every step creates momentum, and every failure provides valuable lessons for the next move. Finally, taking relentless action builds discipline, focus, and self-trust simultaneously. Each completed task reinforces the belief that you can rely on yourself to produce results. This self-trust is essential because it strengthens confidence and reduces hesitation in future endeavors. When action becomes a habit, success becomes inevitable. Over time, unstoppable people create a life where progress is constant, fear is manageable, and achievements accumulate exponentially. In short, relentless action turns ambition into reality and separates those who dream from those who dominate. Failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Most people fear failure, avoid it at all costs, or see it as a reflection of their worth. They equate a single mistake with personal inadequacy and let setbacks stop their progress. But unstoppable individuals understand a vital truth: failure is the raw material of growth. Every misstep, every rejection, every setback contains lessons that cannot be learned through success alone. Instead of fearing failure, they study it, analyze it, and use it to refine their approach. Failure, when embraced, becomes a training ground for mastery. The first step in embracing failure is changing your perspective. Instead of labeling failure as shameful or final, view it as feedback. Each failure reveals gaps in knowledge, flaws in execution, or weaknesses in preparation. By examining what went wrong without judgment or fear, you gain valuable information that brings you closer to success. Unstoppable people actively dissect their failures, asking questions like, what can I do differently next time? Where did I overestimate or underestimate? What lesson is hidden here? This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities and builds a resilience that is impossible to fake. Another critical aspect of this habit is detachment from ego. Many people let pride dictate their response to failure. They hide mistakes, avoid accountability, or blame others for what went wrong. Unstoppable individuals, however, separate their identity from their performance. They understand that failure does not define them. It informs them. By letting go of ego, they reduce fear and increase their willingness to take risks, try new approaches, and push boundaries. This creates a cycle where failures are no longer paralyzing, but become stepping stones toward improvement. Failure also cultivates patience and persistence. Success rarely comes overnight, and setbacks are inevitable along the journey. Unstoppable people embrace the long game, knowing that each failure teaches them something essential for the next attempt. They see the cumulative power of repeated effort, learning, and adjustment. Every time they fail and persist, they grow stronger, more skilled, and more confident in their ability to overcome future challenges. In this way, failure builds grit, which is the cornerstone of unstoppable momentum. Additionally, embracing failure encourages experimentation and creativity. If you fear failure, you tend to play it safe, sticking to what is familiar and avoiding risks. Unstoppable individuals approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear. They test ideas, try unconventional strategies, and learn to pivot quickly. This willingness to experiment accelerates growth, opens new possibilities, and often leads to breakthroughs that safe, cautious approaches could never achieve. Failure, paradoxically, becomes the launch pad for innovation and progress. Finally, learning from failure strengthens self-awareness and humility. Unstoppable people understand that every failure contains a mirror, reflecting both their limitations and potential. By acknowledging these truths, they become more adaptable, grounded, and capable of navigating life's challenges. They do not simply endure failure. They leverage it. They understand that the journey to mastery is paved with mistakes, each one making them sharper, wiser, and increasingly unstoppable. Failure is not a detour. It is the core of the training process that builds champions. The day does not truly end until you take time to reflect on it. Most people rush through their evenings exhausted, distracted by screens, or numbing themselves with entertainment, giving little thought to the progress, or lack thereof, they made. Unstoppable individuals, however, understand that reflection is the key to continuous growth. Without it, mistakes are repeated, lessons are ignored, and potential is wasted. Taking even a few minutes at the end of each day to review your actions, decisions, and outcomes creates a feedback loop that accelerates success over time. Reflection begins with honesty. It requires a willingness to examine your day without excuses or denial. What did you do well today? Where did you fall short? Which decisions moved you closer to your goals, and which ones derailed you? Unstoppable people do not shy away from uncomfortable truths. They confront them. This practice of self-assessment fosters awareness and insight, allowing you to identify patterns of behavior, strengths to leverage, and weaknesses to address. By being brutally honest with yourself, you lay the foundation for deliberate improvement. Another essential element of reflection is gratitude. While analyzing mistakes is critical, it is equally important to acknowledge progress and victories, no matter how small. Unstoppable individuals celebrate their wins, appreciate the lessons learned, and recognize the efforts made throughout the day. Gratitude strengthens mental resilience, reinforces motivation, and shifts your mindset toward abundance rather than scarcity. When reflection combines accountability with appreciation, it cultivates a balanced perspective that fuels sustainable growth. Reflection also allows for strategic planning. By reviewing the day, you can anticipate challenges, adjust priorities, and identify opportunities for tomorrow. It transforms experience into actionable knowledge. Unstoppable people use this practice not just to critique themselves, but to design better strategies, make smarter choices, and improve outcomes continuously. Each day becomes an experiment in progress, and each evening's reflection becomes the blueprint for tomorrow's success. Additionally, this habit nurtures emotional intelligence. Reflecting on interactions, responses, and behaviors helps you understand not only what you did, but also why you did it. You learn to identify emotional triggers, recognize patterns of thought, and understand your reactions in different situations. This heightened self-awareness improves decision-making, strengthens relationships, and enhances your ability to navigate challenges with poise and effectiveness. Reflection trains your mind to act deliberately instead of react impulsively. Finally, ending the day with reflection instills a mindset of lifelong learning. Life is a series of lessons disguised as ordinary days, and those who actively seek to learn from each experience grow exponentially. Even small adjustments made consistently over time lead to massive transformation. By committing to nightly reflection, unstoppable individuals ensure that every day contributes to their evolution, making them smarter, stronger, and more capable of achieving their highest potential. In essence, reflection turns ordinary experiences into extraordinary progress, transforming daily routines into a powerful engine for growth. Now imagine this each day. You wake up with purpose, act with discipline, protect your mind, take relentless action, embrace failure as your teacher, and reflect to grow stronger. Imagine repeating this day after day, not occasionally, but consistently, without excuses, without compromise. Over time, what was once effort becomes second nature. What was once uncomfortable becomes habitual. What was once impossible becomes inevitable. The truth is, becoming unstoppable is not about dramatic breakthroughs or overnight success. It's about the small, deliberate choices you make every single day. It's about showing up when no one is watching, persisting when others quit, and trusting the process even when results aren't immediate. Success is not a single moment, it's a lifetime of consistent effort compounded. You have the power to create that unstoppable version of yourself. The habits you adopt today will define the results you experience tomorrow. Every morning you wake up with intention. Every action you take despite fear. Every lesson you learn from failure. And every night you reflect and improve. You are building momentum that cannot be stopped. So don't wait for the perfect moment or the right opportunity. Start now. Commit to these habits. Protect your mind. Push your limits. Learn from setbacks. Grow every single day. Because when you do, you won't just achieve your goals, you will become unstoppable. Your life is the sum of your habits. Choose wisely. Act relentlessly. And watch as your consistent, purposeful actions transform you into someone who cannot be stopped.